Hey y'all, what's up? We're back here in Jackson, Ohio. We're about to go ride today. I got Big JW here with me. We're gonna head up to Wellston, pick up Roy. We don't have a nickname for him because he's kind of old and doesn't really get a nickname yet, but we'll come up with one. What are we riding today?
Riding the triple nickel.
Riding the Ohio 555, the triple nickel. Got the bikes all cleaned up, all shined up. I'm not even taking saddlebags today because I think it looks cooler without them. We're gonna have to get riding today. Let's go. Alright, so we made it up here to Wellston, Ohio. Picked up old Roy. Roy, say hi.
Hi.
That's Roy. We don't have a nickname for him yet because, well, I don't know. We don't have a nickname for him yet. We put a new choke cable in my bike yesterday, messing with the carburetor a little bit, and put a new air filter on it. And the fuel to air ratio is not quite right, so it's not idling right. But it's running, so it'll be alright. Basically, the problem is, put a nice good air filter in on a bike that did not have a nice air filter on, and now it's getting too much air. And Roy goes, won't the bike just fix itself? I'm like, well, not on a carburetor. Had to point it out, sorry. I did make fun of him. This is Roy's bike. It looks pretty cool. I don't know what it is though. What is it?
Switchback, 2013.
2013 Switchback. It's got a bit bigger engine than mine, and it's not carbureted, so that's always useful. But here in a minute, we're gonna be headed towards Triple Nickel. Hopefully the bike lasts. Hopefully it does. It made it all the way to Tennessee, so hopefully it makes it through the Triple Nickel. up here in Logan, Ohio. I'm trying to get my bike to run right. It's gonna just make my audio great. But we just realized that it has an idle set screw on the carburetor, we think. Anyway, so we're in Logan. Got the bike fixed, we think. I think it's gonna run now. Idle's kind of fast, but got as good as we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna ride.
Idle though for now.
We're gonna ride the triple nickel. Roy's ready to go. Dad's ready to go. He's putting that on because he's bald and he gets a little burnt.
It don't matter. I'm just putting it on.
So we're ready to go now. Alright, so we're at a gas station. Don't really know where. I think we finally got the throttle, or the idle adjusted correctly. Not really sure. I couldn't slow down for the last 10 minutes, but it's alright. Got it fixed now. And we're just going to kind of tinker with it on the rest of the ride. Hopefully eventually we'll get it to where it needs to be. I think we just need to put a new jet on the carburetor though. But Well, yeah, we just had a little accident about a half an hour ago. I came into a curve too fast, I guess, and couldn't slow down fast enough, and my foot peg started dragging, and then I started dragging, and then the bike started dragging, and then I hit a ditch, and then the bike flipped over top of me, and I'm not really sure what else happened. I mean, it's on the footage, but I don't really know what happened. And then Roy drove past me and like was like, all right, see you in a minute, and then he came back for me.
Roy's like, hey, hold up. This is freshly paved road. And we're gonna keep riding. Just hold tight.
Tore up his road.
Well, I actually did tear up. There's like a 1/4 inch gouge down there in the road from my
When I went past you, I was seeing if he had saw you to stop.
Oh yeah. It was a fun time. Not really. I'm gonna have to fix a lot of things on the bike and on myself. My ankle's messed up. I've got some road rash. So yeah, this is the triple nickel. Moral of the story.
And my first aid kit.
And Roy had a first aid kit, which helped out a lot because I had some band-aids and some ibuprofen and lidocaine and a little help from the locals, if you know what I mean. But luckily we got somebody to come get us, or come get me at least. So yeah, this is the triple nickel.
Initial impact. Bike flipped. Landed here. And this is where it all ended, right here. And that is where the bike was ridden up to its curtain point. I don't know how steady I am.
It's like, it won't be super shaky anyway because it's the GoPro like.
Okay.
All right, guys, what's up? It's the day after we were riding yesterday. As you guys saw, I had a little accident, but I'm fine. My ankle is a little messed up, a little swollen. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. I can walk on it. Nothing's broken, probably. I'm not going to the hospital because I don't want to get the virus. Got some pretty good road rash still on that arm, and I don't know if you can see this, but a little bit on this arm too. Turn the fan off. The bike is pretty messed up. The front fork tube, one of these fork tubes is bent, so it doesn't like ride straight. This is bent, the front fender's bent. Tire and wheel seem to be okay. The axle's probably okay. Headlight's fine. It's scratched up a little bit, but it can probably be mostly just cleaned and buffed out. Missing the turn signal cover. This here, the brake lever, has somehow managed to disconnect from the shaft that takes it back there. That bolt broke right there. If you can see that, the bolt broke. But like the brake lever itself is probably fine. My pipes are, I mean, they're a little, the wrap's a little beat up, which is kind of what I've discovered because I've laid it down in gravel before. The wrap kind of protects the pipes anyway. Back here, the chrome, it's not really scratched. It's just, I mean, it's scratched, but it's not like super bad. It's just mostly dirt from where I ended up in the ditch. The shocks are back here. Everything down here seems to be fine. When I did it, the handlebars folded down because the bike kind of flipped over top of me, and the handlebars definitely did not get along with the tank. And look, you can see it's like pretty well dented. Paint scratched up real good. I'll have to get a new tank. I don't have to get a new tank. I guess that tank still works, but handlebars are bent over here. there's a smaller scratched up, dented up section. Everything down here is good. I'm leaking gas somewhere, but I don't know what from. So we'll have to figure that out before when we go to fix it all again. But the engine and the transmission all seems okay. Everything right here seems good. Back here, seat's good. Seat was expensive, so I'm glad it's good. But it didn't have any holes in it. It's not like cut up or anything. Like I said, the suspension all back here is good. A little scratched up on my turn signal there, but that can be replaced. The sissy bar, if you notice, let me go on the other side of the bike. The sissy bar is not the way it's supposed to be. So if you remember, it kind of goes back like this. Well, when we crashed, the sissy bar like folded back onto the license plate back here, and because the bike was upstairs size down, so the sissy bar is messed up. The actual sissy bar itself, like the bar is fine, the mounts are what's messed up. License plate's messed up, and right here the sissy bar mount has dented the rear fender, so I'm gonna have to get a new rear fender anyway, which is kind of okay, because I wanted to get a bobbed fender anyway, so I think that'll look cool. Got a lot of work to do. Got some dirt on everything, as can be expected, but the shocks back here I think are fine. Swing arms I think are fine. All the expensive stuff besides the forks are pretty much fine. My knockoff air filter, air clean system is not fine. Every part where there was a bolt that connected to the carburetor was pretty much broke, but I think it was broke beforehand anyway. So we've got the air cleaner taken off. It didn't come off when we crashed, but we took it off anyway last night just to see what the problem was. So the reason my bike wasn't running correctly, back up here into the carburetor, where the carburetor goes into the intake, there's a rubber seal. You can't really see it, but there's a rubber seal back in there that's supposed to go into the intake, and the rubber seal wasn't sealed properly, so I was getting way too much air into my bike, which is why I said, like I said, the air to fuel ratio wasn't right, and we couldn't, like, there was nothing we could adjust to make it right because it wasn't sealed properly. The thing that we were trying to adjust was there's a little screw in there that adjusts the idle, so it adjusts like how much tension there is in the cables, the throttle cable, so that you can adjust your idle. It doesn't really adjust the fuel to air ratio. It just adjusts how much fuel goes in when it's idling. So we kept trying to adjust that. We thought we had it fixed, but we really didn't, because it wasn't sealed to begin with. So I couldn't really slow down, like, you know how you roll off the throttle and it kind of engine brakes. I couldn't do that, so I couldn't slow down around the curve. I mean, among other things, like the fact that I came into the curve too fast anyway, but you can usually slow down. The bike wouldn't run right. I should have known better. So now I've got a project, but really the only thing that needs to be replaced before I can run it again is the front fork and the air filter. Other than that, it should, and the brake. The pretty stuff, the tanks and the handlebars and stuff, they're not as expensive, so we'll get to them too. But yeah, that's a little after crash review, my little injuries and the bike's big injuries. And I've got a couple. My vest has dirt all over it, and one of the patches is starting to come off because it got rolled, you know. And then my chaps, I'm glad I had them on, because, or I would have had road rash on my knees too, because there's just like almost a hole clean through them, and there's a hole in the palm of my glove, which I might have the glove out here. No, it's inside. The clothes is all inside. But yeah, so now we've got to work. If you look here, you can kind of tell that, like, it's not straight, right? Like, nothing about that looks straight. So we've got a project. Thanks for watching, and I'll make a new video as soon as we get the bike put back together.